and welcome back to the Cup of Joe show. I'm Joe, that's Jeremy. We're back after taking a week off last week. I hope you enjoyed. Obviously not as good a show as us, but you have the Cape Crusader and Rorschach. Sorry, he has no nicknames. But anyway, let's get right to it. We saw John Wick last week, and we're going to review that because it's what we do. It's a movie show. So, Jeremy, what'd you think of John Wick?
Okay, well, John Wick stars Keanu Reeves as a retired hitman, assassin kind of person. He retires with his wife, and they have a nice life together, and then his wife dies, and it's pretty tragic. She gives him a dog as a parting gift, and that dog is pretty much all he has left. And then some bad dudes come along and kill his dog, and he goes crazy. Uses all those skills acquired as years as a hitman to kill and fight a lot of people. Mostly kill them. If he fights them, he kills them. And I thought it was good. It was very stylish. I liked the way that the action scenes were shot. There was hardly any shaky cam, so that was nice. You could see what was going on. John Wick, the character, was very precise, and I liked the way that he fought. You know, he always went for headshots. He was super pragmatic and all that. That was cool. The movie isn't high on depth as you wouldn't expect it to be, but that's fine. You know, it's a thrill ride with lots of action and Keanu Reeves, doing his thing. So. It was everything I would have wanted, really.
Yeah, it was a very, very good movie. To bolster actually a pretty decent October. Like you said, the shots were great. I guess to add, it was cool to see someone use a handgun in close quarters. It was great. It kind of brought me back to Collateral, with some of the action sequences in Collateral. Interestingly enough, there actually was a club sequence in both movies as well.
True, yeah.
But yeah, John Wick, just how it was shot, it was slick. You knew exactly what you were getting, but the great part about it is it was still actually a fresh take on the genre of just action. Action revenge flick. Even at the end, stylistic is the word you use, and I think that's right, especially with the last battle, the boss battle, if you will. Might have been a little bit too cliche, but I guess that's really what the movie is. The rain was falling and everything, but it was very good. I enjoyed it. A nice return to the big screen for Keanu Reeves, and it'd be cool if we got more. I don't think that's going to be the case, but it'd be cool if we got more like that, more John Wick 2, the second one. So it was a very good movie, very very fun movie. I would definitely recommend it. I guess. Yeah, other than that, any more thoughts before we move on?
I think we nailed pretty much everything. Welcome back, Keanu.
Yeah, seriously.
We missed you.
Seriously. So, all right, that was the movie we saw. We're now going to move on to the box office, where Jeremy will get into it right now.
Alrighty, last weekend, number 5 was The Book of Life. That was down 41% to 10.1 million, total of 30.2. For a kid/family movie, that's kind of a big drop. They usually don't drop over 40% like that unless they open really high. Nonetheless, I didn't expect this movie to make 30 million total. I never expected it to break the top 5. So to me, this is already a win. I thought if it opened to 10 million, that would have been good. So, whatever. Fourth place was Gone Girl. That was down 37% to 11 million. Has a total of 124. I would say this still has a shot at 150, especially if it can pull like an Argo and maybe get a little re-release around Oscar season or something. But anyway you slice it, it's definitely a very big success, and I'm happy to see it do well. Third place was Fury. That was down 44% to 13.4 million. Total of 46.4. I didn't see this film. Joe did. But as I hear, it was pretty solid. So I was kind of hoping it could drop under 40. But, even still, that's not a disaster. I think this should do pretty well overseas. Maybe not in Germany, but in other European countries and whatnot. So, it might end up doing all right for itself. Our number 2 film was John Wick. That opened to 14.4 million. And, considering the type of movie it is and how little Keanu Reeves has done lately, that's really not bad. I think that's actually a pretty solid opening. Box Office Mojo doesn't have anything on the budget, so I can't imagine that it was that high. But that's solid. It's better than 47 Ronin, so there's that. And it should definitely have better legs than that. Although 47 Ronin did open in the Christmas season, so that usually gives movies disproportionately high legs. So I don't know. I think John Wick will be remembered more fondly than 47 Ronin, if nothing else.
I would think so.
And I think it'll do well overseas. I think they enjoy those, stylish kinds of action flicks. So, maybe we will get a John Wick 2. I would see it.
Yes, definitely.
But anyway, our number 1 film was Ouija. That opened to 19.8 million. So, clearly not the next Conjuring, Annabelle, Insidious 2, any of those, heavy hitters of the horror genre. But it's still a bit above the usual, 10 to 15 million range for the genre. Ouija had really bad reviews. Really bad. And that's saying something for the genre. So, it's a good opening, but there's really not going to be anything, in the way of legs. And this weekend, it's gonna have a really, really good Friday, and then Saturday it's gonna go down 70%. So for the overall weekend, it'll probably be down 50-55%. But yeah, after Halloween, nobody's really gonna want to go see it. So.
The funny part is, actually this year, unless I'm totally missing something, the best horror movie is probably going to be the re-release of Saw, which we'll get to. Ouija, Annabelle, what? Did I miss something?
I don't know. Nightcrawler is a thriller.
It's a thriller, yeah. Well, yeah, it's funny because I'm hearing this is the best Halloween movie to go to, and I'm just oh my god, don't be like a horror movie. But and we'll get there too. But
getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. It's just it's weird to me. Not that I care because I don't like horror movies, but it just feels like a really weak slate of horror movies this year.
Last year, pretty much all we had was Carrie. Or was that 2 years ago? I think that was last year.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess during this time, I guess I'm thinking of things that came out in the summer that are of last year, like The Conjuring and a bunch of those, a few other.
I don't know why The Conjuring came out in July.
Yeah, exactly.
But, whatever.
So it just, I don't know, it seems pretty weak to me. But I don't really care. So, yeah, and Ouija just, it looked terrible. It could have been entertaining though. But I saw that and it looked awful. Yeah, other than that, I don't think that's a bad drop for Fury. Although I would like to see it make a little more than it is making. So anyway, that's the box office. Now let's move on. We may have a little bit of time here. Marvel dropped some news. Um, there's a lot of movies coming out for Marvel, and let's if we could just sit back and realize that this is just a great time to be alive. Especially if you're a comic book movie fan, which a lot of people obviously are. So I mean, you have the DC slate that just came out, and now you have the Marvel slate. So we're literally going to get like 5 comic book movies a year, at least.
It's a golden age.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
At least. So it's just whether they're good, you're going to have some bad ones in there, probably. Probably more toward DC rather than Marvel.
Yeah.
But it's great to think that we're gonna get so much. You've got Marvel in 2016 will be Civil War, which they originally teased as the Serpent Society, and then they came back and said it was Civil War. There's a clip out, I believe, from Avengers 2 where it shows the disagreements between Captain America and Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Where Captain America rips a log in half with his bare hands. But yeah, I mean, Marvel's. Oh my gosh.
Well, Captain America is a badass.
It's true. Oh man, I didn't see that coming. Holy cow.
I know Halloween's over, but I couldn't resist.
Absolutely.
I need occasions to wear this hoodie.
It's a big day for you. It's a big day. And it's interesting to think that when Captain America first entered the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it was more because he needed to be there. Whereas especially now after his role in the Avengers and after Captain America, the first Avenger, was actually a good movie. And you have the Avengers, and then especially the Winter Soldier. Everyone now loves Captain America. So this is a great time to jump into Civil War, where you have these actual 2 superhero icons, especially now because of how they've been built through the Marvel Cinematic Universe, face off. So I mean, you have Civil War, you have I believe Ant-Man is 2016, and so is Doctor Strange, who. Okay, I don't know whether this is confirmed or not, but like it should be Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, which is a great choice. All I'm hearing is like he's in final negotiations, so I don't know. It seems like it's him. If it's not, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to lie or start any rumors, but it appears that he is the guy. But it's all in whatever that for the crying phrase. It's all whatever for but the crying.
Oh, it's all over but the
yes,
crying?
There you go.
I don't know.
There you go. So we have that. We have Thor Ragnarok in 2017, and Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Black Panther, who was Chadwick Boseman, which is a great choice. You have Captain Marvel will be 2018.
Gonna be a woman.
Gonna be a woman, which is a good choice because the Marvel doesn't really have I mean, they have Black Widow, but they do not have a superhero woman. So it's good that they're branching out into that. And Inhumans, which I don't know anything about.
Even I really don't know.
Yeah. So, but we just have faith in Marvel, and there's. I mean, I guess I don't know if it's the biggest news, but we know how the third phase is going to ultimately come to an end with Infinity War, Avengers, Infinity War Part 1 and 2, which should be crazy. It's just a good time. I don't really know how else to explain it. Marvel is doing it better than DC, definitely. Mm-hmm. Especially because we haven't seen anything DC. They come out with like 100 movies, which is great and everything, but like Marvel's there and they've got it and they have a plan, and it's just I'm more excited to see what they're gonna do. rather than what DC's going to do. But ultimately, like I've been saying, great time to be just a movie fan in general.
Yeah, absolutely. Unless you're like a pretentious fan of indie movies and you're like, I don't like these blockbuster Hollywood comic book movies.
They're so like entertaining and fun. Who wants that?
I want to see depressing movies because tragedy is art.
That's right. And movies that make absolutely no sense it's great filmmaking. Great filmmaking.
Like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
There you go. Oh my god. I hate that movie.
It's awful. I've tried on 3 separate times to watch it. I still can't finish it. It's that bad.
It's such a bad movie. Don't even try again if you had planned, because I've watched the whole thing and it was.
That's impressive.
It was really bad. It was a really bad movie, but people love it. So it'll be interesting to see. I have a feeling like if I go see, I'm gonna try to see Birdman whenever it comes here.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a feeling I'm going to hate that movie.
Probably.
Like, so much.
Yeah.
Because people just love it. And are eating it up. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, we just got on a tangent about, like, oh, man, that's funny. All right, let's move on to the movies that came out yesterday. This weekend's films. Let's start very quickly with the re-release of Saw. I love Saw. I love that first Saw. It's fantastic. I have thought about actually going to see it in theaters because I never saw it in theaters. Love the movie. You know, I think it's a great idea to re-release it, especially when horror movies are really bad this season.
True. Much like Ouija, it'll probably do really well on Friday and then fall off a cliff for the rest of the weekend. And I don't know if it's only in theaters for this weekend, if it's 2 weekends, or if it'll ride it out like a normal movie pattern. But anyway, yeah, the first Saw is good. I also like Saw 2. I think Saw 2 is roughly on par with the first one, and then Saw 3 and beyond is just crap. But the original is a good flick, and I think it's a good move.
I'll just amend that statement because you've never seen Saw 6. I think Saw 6 is actually a good film. Okay. And I believe Saw 7 is a really entertaining film. It's awful. Yeah. But Saw 7 is so entertaining.
It's hilarious.
So I'll slightly amend that statement.
Hey.
But yes, 1 and 2 2 is actually very good too, you're right. Love Donnie Wahlberg. Anyway, moving on, we have I'm trying to think of what else.
Before I Go to Sleep.
There you go. And those are our thoughts. All
yeah,
right.
Okay. Let's move on. We only have 2 minutes. I'd rather talk about Nightcrawler.
Exactly. So. Nightcrawler comes out. This movie looks great, honestly. It's getting great reviews. Jake Gyllenhaal coming off a good performance in Prisoners. He gets, and it seems like it's going to be driven by him, his performance. So, I mean, as scary as that might be, it's actually, it's getting great reviews, and I'm interested to see what he could do, because I actually think he's been improving as an actor since certain things that he's been in. I think ultimately at this point he might have just hit the nail on the head. So I'm just interested to see what he's gonna do. Yeah,
I've long been a fan of Jake Gyllenhaal. Actually, I think he's an underrated actor, and he had a really good performance in Prisoners. He was probably good in End of Watch. I didn't see that.
He was very good in End of Watch, actually. Yeah.
And it looks like Nightcrawler is just powered by him. He clearly really gets into roles now because he just looks freaky and really skinny and stuff for Nightcrawler. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it looks it looks like a dark-ish thriller, so I can see how it could be called like a Halloween movie. Like you could see it on Halloween and it would fit, but it's not a horror movie. Mm-hmm. But great reviews. Yeah, I'd like to see it. I think it looks pretty good.
He just always, to me, Jake Gyllenhaal always seems to have a moment, no matter how good he is in a film, where he loses me. There's just one moment where I just laugh at his acting. But anyway, no, he has been very good of late. So I mean, this looks great, looks exciting. That's the movie I would see. Don't see Ouija or anything, But anyway, Happy Halloween, everybody. It already happened, but goodbye.